up, dude?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Nada. It's hiding up in the corner there in the way.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was raining or something.
Yeah, it's got that spitting crap.
But look, man, we are at Thursday already.
Yep.
Shoot.
It's all but done.
We got just Friday to deal with. Then we'll do a little house changing party. Go back to my place, have some celebratory drinks.
That'll be on time.
Can't wait. But for now, we will have a celebratory episode of The Commute.
Yeah, where I will be your driver.
And I will be your passenger. Got a lot of tech stuff today. All tech stuff.
Okay.
A betting company has hired Stephen Hawking to analyze data from every World Cup that England qualified for since 1966. So Stephen Hawking's getting into gambling now. You know, they have him running stats for them. Not so much to give odds, but just to, do a little study on it. Mm-hmm. They want to find out what their best chances are of winning. What they have to do to win this World Cup coming up in Brazil. So he said, he did analyze everything. He said they have to avoid high temperatures, use a 4-3-3 formation, because right now they use a 4-4-2 formation. Mm-hmm. And so he's even changing up their whole, he's coaching the team now. He says, look, this is what you got to do. And they have to wear red. He said if they do that,
they'll win.
They have good chances of winning. However, he said even if they did all that, he does not think that they will win the World Cup. He said he's picking Brazil, not only because they're a very good team, but the hosting team wins the World Cup 30% of the time.
Oh.
So roughly 1 in 3 odds that they're going to win. There's only 1 or 2 teams that could even get in their way anyway. He said that the reason for wearing red is it makes people feel more confident and more aggressive, and the other team sees you as being aggressive as well. So, it kind of plays on their head. As for the 4-3-3 formation, it's the same deal. It's a more aggressive offense, even if it's not your style. That, combined with wearing red, just teams will start to fear you more. Hey, and I'm going with him. If he said to do anything, I would do it. What is that?
I don't know. Yeah, but, if anybody knows numbers,
Yeah, I mean, this guy, especially if I'm paying him to figure this stuff out. Yeah. Yes, sir, Mr. Hawking.
Trust the physicist.
If he told me to lift up my leg when I took a piss for any reason, I'd okay. Lift my leg.
But I mean, all of those things are pretty generic.
Yeah,
things. I mean, not based on much on the data, I wouldn't think.
Yeah. I'm sure like the high temps, because they're not used to high temperatures there.
Right. They
would just get fatigued more. But again, nothing that really you or I couldn't figure out.
Yeah.
Stephen Hawking got lazy on this one. But he also said that if kickoff occurs at 3 o'clock their local time, it'll improve their chances of winning.
Because of where they're coming from, maybe?
I don't know, coming from, or maybe they win more at that time, or they didn't say why he picked that. He also told them kick with the side of your foot, not with the tip of your foot. You have a 10% better chance of scoring, which, that's how soccer players play anyway. He said, compared to soccer, however, he enjoyed doing this. Quantum physics are more straightforward than soccer. Yeah, maybe for a guy like him.
Well, it's just, statistics analysis, too. Who wants to do that?
Yeah. But, he stole money from these people.
Yeah.
They could have paid me half the price. I would have come up with the same data. See, if you kick the ball in the net, you got a better chance of winning.
To be fair, it's not like he didn't really take the money and run. He knew where he was at all times. Yeah, they pretty much just...
I don't know, but he's got a fast-ass scooter, So, this day in history, May 29th, 1953, Edmund Hillary of New Zealand and Tenzing Norgay of Nepal become the first explorers to reach the summit of Mount Everest, 29,035 feet above sea level, the highest point on Earth. Everest is on the border of Nepal and Tibet, named after Sir George Everest, a 19th century British surveyor of South Asia, called Como Lungma, mother goddess of the land.
By the Tibetans.
I read a book one time called, I think it was called Into Thin Air, and it was a biography of a guy who would climb the mountain, and that's just fucked up. And I don't know why anyone would want to do that. I don't get it. It just, I get the appeal of mountain climbing.
Yeah.
But
to put yourself in that much jeopardy to...
Yeah. I mean, there's dead bodies up there. You know, like you're burning a hole to stay warm, and up there's a body. No, thank you. May 29th, 1848, Wisconsin becomes the 30th state in the Union. And to this day, still nobody cares about Wisconsin.
Unless you like cheese.
And the Packers.
And the Packers.
That is about it. And sauerkraut. Big sauerkraut plant up there.
Yeah.
Never know it. They showed it one time during a football game, like at halftime. It was kind of like...
Here's the sauerkraut plant.
It was like being at Mr. Rogers. You know, they showed you the factory, like the whole process. And it's just them. They literally just have pitchforks and they're throwing the shit in the machine. It's just... I don't know, it kind of made me not want sauerkraut after that.
Yeah. But it's good if it's cooked right.
Oh, I love sauerkraut. Sometimes I can just get a bowl of sauerkraut and just eat it. Shit my pants for a week. May 29th, 1914. Heavy fog causes collisions of boats on the St. Lawrence River of Canada, killing 1,073 people. Wow. Stortstad hit the Empress midship.
Stortstad was a coal transportation ship.
And just fucking ran right into the middle of the ship?
Yeah,
Jesus
well,
Christ.
In fog conditions, all ships are supposed to come to a stop.
Don't you just anchor down?
Yeah, they're just supposed to come to a stop. Well, the Stortstad kept going. You know, not...
So the Empress
they kept going slow. The Empress was stopped. And they just plowed into the side of them. And the captain made the decision, rather than to reverse engines, to keep going forward, because he thought that if he pulled back, then the water would get into the vessel. So that crushed a ton of people on deck as he went forward.
I mean, why reverse? That's when you stop. I can understand you don't want to back out, but let's keep going.
Yeah, so he charged through it and, you know, knocked the other boat on its side too.
Wow, what was that? 1914.
Yeah, that caused it to. It sunk in like 14 minutes.
Jeez, I bet it did.
I think 200 some passengers and 200 some crew were all that made it off that ship.
And also May 29th, 1974, my sister was born.
Yeah.
She's now 40. It's so weird having a sibling at 40, especially because she's only a little older than me.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm like, shit, I'm coming next.
You know, you get ready to bite that on that yourself.
Shit, man.
Yeah.
I sent her a thing today. I said, even though I look like her older brother, she's doing something right. But when she's 80 and I'm 77,
yeah.
See what the tides are like then. See you in 40 bar.
Yeah, you can always buy the what is it, that Grecian Command stuff. And it'd be fine. It would look like you're 20 years old again.
I'd be afraid to do that. It'd be like Steve Martin in Father of the Bride. Yeah. He does that. He just looks all weird. So there was a man who imagined the internet in 1895. A book just came out about it. It was a book called Cataloging the World.
Looks like Freud.
It's a little-known Belgian entrepreneur named Paul Otlet, who envisioned a World Wide Web well before the computer was even created. The book was written by Alex Wright and can be purchased on Amazon. In 1895, Otlet first imagined a universal library of information that could be accessed remotely. And even thinking remotely at that time, you know, it was crazy. Much like the internet of today, his vision involved depositing the world's knowledge into a centralized, interconnected system. He spent the next 4 decades refining the concept with his partner Henry LaFontaine. They envisioned layers of data projected outwards from a central base of information. They imagined creating an interlinked network of data that they dubbed the Mundanium, using electronic telescopes is what they used. So you would essentially have these super-powered telescopes
to see
all the data in this centralized area. And they even, well, let's see, they jumped the boat here. Their goal was to help solve some of the world's greatest problems, allowing for a renaissance of knowledge and connect people and ideas beyond geographic limitations. They hoped the Mundanium could usher in a post-national period of peace and enlightenment. They imagined such an environment would allow national boundaries to dissolve, eliminate causes of war, and allow humanity to make a collective leap forward towards a more harmonious and enlightening state of being. And look what we've done with the internet.
Little did he know it would only be used for porn. And that's
porn and shopping.
And people hitting each other with things.
You know? But it's almost sad because here this guy had this ingenious idea.
Yeah.
Ingenious idea that almost seemed impossible at the time. 100 years later, it comes to be.
Yeah.
And we just turn it to shit. You know? He said, like the library system of catalog cards, Mundanium would allow individuals to call upon specific bits of information, connecting governments, universities, bookstores, and other institutions in a utopian collaborative network. They say while the internet today hasn't ushered in quite the utopian vision that he had, some of his predictions have proven eerily accurate. They believe that whole libraries of text and images would be available to the masses via projections on individual screens. So these telescopes would then see the image and project it onto your screen. I don't know if you would have one, like you had to have your own on top of your house or something, but even that's pretty cool. He also believed the system would empower individuals to hone their subjects of interest, and I guess he was right there too, porn. You know? Little do you know how many people loved porn.
Yeah.
1895, I don't think it was that, I guess, talked about subject.
Well, 1895, I mean, you had, you know, electricity and those kind of things were still coming around, so it's interesting that he had that concept in his head.
Spent 4 decades on it. This guy spent 40 years trying
working on it with somebody else,
this.
too.
And, you know, take that, Al Gore.
Yeah.
Mr. Oster created the internet. And speaking of the internet, Comcast CEO ignores reality, says the U.S. internet quality is A-OK. No?
No.
8 nations currently have faster internet connection speeds on average than the U.S., and 30 have faster average download speeds, according to 2 separate studies. But none of that seems to bother the Comcast CEO, Brian Roberts. Wednesday at a tech-centric code conference in Rancho Palos Verdes, California, he said he's just fine with the speed and quality of broadband service in the U.S. Quote, I don't think we should be ashamed of where we are with broadband at all. He responded to a question why internet access in the U.S. isn't better. Well, Masayoshi Son, the chairman of Sprint and CEO of SoftBank, refuted his comments on stage, insisting that Americans don't understand just how bad their internet is. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
He said,
I understand completely.
This is the country that invented the internet. How can Americans live like this? He must have Comcast.
Yeah.
You know?
That's all you have to do.
And that's the thing. We have, well, I guess you could say, you can refute it maybe with Verizon, but we have one of the 2 fastest internet connections in the country, and it's still shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's complete garbage. I mean, that's compared to anything
And they'll
else.
blame it on your computer, on your this, on your that, you know.
Well, they'll blame it on anything else, but, you know, what it actually is. They just fucking lucked into what it is, you know.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
You know, it just so happens that, you know, that type of cable could support a signal, you know. And
Right, exactly. They didn't have to lay down anything.
No,
They just plugged it in on their end.
Yeah, they didn't have to innovate, and they just fucking let
Done.
it go. And it's, you know, what a fucking sham. Guy should be fucking ashamed.
Well, Sun cited Japan as an example of exceptional broadband service, saying that their average speeds there are 50 to 60 megabytes for $20 to $30 a month. $20 to $30 a month compared to, now they have 50 to 60 megabytes. The US, 6 megabytes for a lot more money, almost triple that.
Oh, yeah?
If you just get the internet from Comcast,
Yeah.
it's $80 a month.
It's 80?
If that's all you want. And the reasoning behind that is because if they hook the internet up to your house through that cable,
Yeah, you'll use it for TV.
you can also use it for like, you get like the first 100 channels because they can't stop that from coming through. So they're like, you know, for all we know, that's what we're using it for too, so 80 a month. Roberts also clarified at the conference that Comcast workers don't wake up every day and go to work and say, we want to be hated. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
An April survey of 70,000 Americans found that internet service providers and cable companies are the two most hated sectors in the entire U.S. economy. And that's true.
Yeah.
I hate them.
I'm on board. 100% of the community hates them.
I mean, it's not the first Comcast is shitty,
Yeah.
you know, story we've done.
There's a litany of them.
But for them to come out and say, no, we're not,
We're fine. Everything is great. Go back to sleep.
even though you have all this data, ignore the silly Japanese man on stage.
Yeah. He doesn't know what he's talking about, even though he knows exactly what he's talking about. And he knows how to read, apparently, and interpret fucking data rationally. Maybe that was it. He couldn't get the data back to him in time.
yeah, I don't see anything coming. I'm not downloading that. What are you, nuts? I hit download. Nothing's coming through. You must be full of Japanese shit. Sad but admittedly impressive feat. Comcast and Time Warner, which might merge, both scored lowest in both categories. Comcast is the largest broadband provider in the country. Even before the announcement of the Time Warner Cable and AT&T DirecTV merger, people were saying that conjoining these telecom and broadband players could limit the quality of service and choices for American consumers. Well, no shit. I mean, it's a monopoly.
Completely. It can't be anything else. And, you know, that was one of the stories I didn't put on there today, but this day in history, too, the Major League Baseball won a lawsuit over there was like a Baltimore League or something back in like 1915, and they sued the Major League Baseball for being a monopoly on baseball.
Really?
They said that they were, you know, absorbing all these teams, and, you know, and that's why baseball is all weird, like legally now, because during that court case, it got classified as a sport in quotation marks. Whatever a sport is legally, that's what baseball is. And it's the only professional sport that's like that, that's classified that way. So that's why it's weird for them to like transfer teams and, you know, do like the owners and stuff actually don't. They work for the commissioner. Like it's not. They're not separate. They're like, or the managers, I guess, of the teams. They work for the commissioner.
Okay.
And the commissioner has the final say because that's how it got summed up in that court case.
So it's like one company instead of 30 different companies that are a conglomerate. Like football, I know is that way.
Hey, go to it, you fucking mouth. These fucking people, man. That's, you know what, I blame fucking Comcast for people driving like assholes.
Why is that?
Because they want to get home to like update their fucking Facebook page, and it takes so much fucking time. They know they got to get home faster to fucking do it in order to go, you know, before they get to bed.
I can agree with that.
So that's what it is. People drive like assholes because of fucking Comcast. There you go. go. There's one for the day.
And we can include Verizon in that too, because they can do it from their phone.
Sure.
And that's why they drive like assholes. Just blame them both. Fuck them both.
It's bullshit. I don't know. And there's nothing really to fix it. I mean, there's no... You know, there's no silver bullet to fix that kind of thing. You don't, because you sure as shit don't want it run by like the government. You don't want them to take over that.
No, but I'm surprised the government lets them get away with being a monopoly. I mean, aren't they supposed to stop shit like that?
How about why can't it be run by like the state? I mean, as shitty as that would be.
Well, yeah, it'd be better than the feds.
Well, no, I'm thinking it would be better than fucking Comcast.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, my balls running it would be better than Comcast.
Or is it? I mean, I guess look at like...
But my balls?
No, I mean, you've got... I would say look at them. If, you know, just... I'm saying look at it as an issue. Like trash service, you know, like the town or whatever pays for trash service. You know, do they overpay for that? Or is it, you know, quality trash service? You know, I guess
looking at it like a choice as to who your provider was, right?
How's that different?
Well, yeah.
How's that different at all?
Well, see, that's the problem too. We should have choice.
Right. There's no choice. But I'm saying there's no silver bullet for that, because how would you garner choice from that? They own all the fucking lines.
Yeah.
You know? If that's not a monopoly, I don't know what is. You know, they should be forced to maybe sell that to local communities or something. But even that's bullshit. You don't want to do that, because they fucking own that. You know,
you just need to have more companies with the same power. They should be forced to share their lines. The government can come down and say, "Hey, you can do whatever you want." But these other companies, if they want to come in and start a cable company,
I don't know. See, I don't like that, because that's kind of like a bullshit power too to give to the government to force people to do stuff.
But there's laws against monopolies too. I mean, they're breaking laws.
Why can't it be like you know, pipes run into your house like water? You know.
And then they gotta lay all the pipe.
The internet is tubes. It's a series of tubes. Did you ever see that video of that congressman saying that shit? Mm-hmm. It's like a big truck. But I don't know. I mean, it's weird, because it's a service. You know, it's not. I don't know. Maybe people are fighting the wrong fight for like access and shit like that.
Well, here's where the government needs to step in. Because, yeah, it's a service, but isn't it a necessity of life right now, really? I mean, isn't it something that you have to have, pretty much? We
do call it the information age. I mean, how far behind do you have to be, you know, and how far ahead would you put students and everything else if everybody had
because of that, exactly. Yeah, give everyone access, because there's people that don't have the internet still. Mm-hmm. And I just think it's a necessity. For schoolwork,
maybe it will go that way with like
shopping, for a living,
with like Wi-Fi. You know, communities setting up like free Wi-Fi access and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll get to a point where like the community buys internet access and they demand a certain level of access, and if these companies can't provide it, then somebody else has to. Yeah. To power like their Wi-Fi, and then the town is run by Wi-Fi. It's not run by cables, and then you avoid those.
That's a brilliant idea.
You avoid those fucking companies.
You know, I'd even be okay with upping my taxes a little for that. You know, to help pay for it.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, something like that. That's
being raped by Comcast anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know how it would work, but that's the only way I see, like, off the, you know, tip of my brain to. I don't know.
Well, Smyrna, get on it. Give us free or taxable Wi-Fi, but make it fast.
I mean, free Wi-Fi.
Don't make it Smyrna fast.
If you make it free Wi-Fi for the town, and then raise the taxes a bit, and then they pay for the internet service that's providing that Wi-Fi. I mean, the Wi-Fi itself is only as fast as, you know, the signal that's coming to it.
But
maybe that would give Verizon some incentive to run fucking fiber to these, you know, hubs that are providing the Wi-Fi.
Not just that, but picture this. Let's say whatever town is the first to do this, and they're able to make it faster than any other internet provider in the country.
Yeah.
If you live in this town, You now have the fastest internet in the country.
Yeah.
How many people is that going to bring to your town to live there?
Well, how many other towns is that going to incentivize? To raise theirs up to the same level, follow the same plan. I don't know.
Shit, man, we gotta get on this. I'm running for mayor. That's it. Yeah. And that'll be my stand. Free, fast Wi-Fi for all. I'll get elected. Right. I won't have to say anything else. Well, what are your views on education policies? Don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck. Yeah. Free, fast internet. Oh yeah, I forgot. Sorry. Reviews on making sure that the lakes don't get polluted. Don't give a fuck. Pollute away. Not my problem right now.
Yeah.
Free internet.
I'm only here for 2 years, so in that time, free internet.
I'll still get elected. They can even have like the environmental society there drilling me with questions. I could be like, "Fuck you, get out."
Wi-Fi is not.
They'll applaud me.
Is environmentally sound.
Is cleaning the lake going to get all these people faster free Wi-Fi? No, get the fuck out. Piece of shit. And then the roads will be safer to drive on.
Yeah.
In our hometown.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't vote for you though because I'm not in the same town.
No, I know you got to move then. Sorry about your luck. You got to move. You can be my campaign man.
You got to move half a mile. Yeah. Okay.
Deal with that. I'll take that.
I have no previous experience.
Neither do I.
And I'm a terrible drunk, so.
It doesn't matter. Free Wi-Fi.
It sells itself.
I've never been in politics. Doesn't matter. And I'm going to get in office. I'm going to go, okay, all this money we have allocated, all these groups, fuck them. It's now for the free internet. You got it, sir. Mr. Mayor. It feels good even just hearing that. Mr. Mayor.
I take that back. I'm not a terrible drunk. I'm just a foreign drunk.
The old drunk thing.
I'm a foreign drunk.
A foreign drunk?
Yeah. I pick up accents as I get more drunk.
Yes, you do. Well, that's why we got to do the drunk commute where we're in the back and we have someone else driving us.
That would be hilarious.
We got to get on that. Weather's getting nice now.
It'd be just like that drunk history thing. I was watching those the other day. Those are pretty funny.
And then we can make that the cartoon.
Yeah.
Love it.
You just got to come up with would it be like our heads or something in the car, or
just be us? I don't know. We got to look at this program. I got to get it. So I'm going to order it this weekend. I don't know. You scan some shit in and it cartoons it.
Cartoonifies.
Fucking cartoonifies me. So yeah, be on the lookout for Commute cartoons. Huh? How does that sound? Show them to your kids.
All four of it.
Get the fuck out. And keep on track with the internet. It is actually pretty much impossible to quit Amazon. You cannot get away from Amazon.
I can't quit you.
You just can't. Lately they've come under fire because they who's the book publisher? Hachette, book publisher Hachette. They want to pay less to them to sell their books on Amazon. And Hachette said, well, sorry, no, these are our prices. So now they're holding back these books. Like if you want to read a book from them and you have your Kindle or you want to buy it online, whatever, you can't. You just can't. And really, shit, where else can you buy books right now? That's about it.
What happened to antitrust laws? Like, why don't they exist anymore?
Dude, all they have to do is refund you.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
It's for exactly that.
Well, I just got a refund from them because they were charging so much for books, and that wasn't in their agreement.
Right.
But they upped their price. Like, yeah, fuck you, we're selling it for this much. And there was a company that actually wanted to sell their stuff for less.
Yeah.
So, just class action lawsuit. You're not going to stop them. Because wait, I'll tell you later in the story how much fucking money they make. So you can't buy Hachette books. That's one thing. They've been criticized for poor pay and working conditions for warehouse workers and delivery drivers. Not a shock there. So
I mean, they had to take the 30% off discounts and shit I get out of somebody's ass. I mean,
yeah, and that's where it comes from. These hard workers. But breaking free of the Amazon empire is near impossible because of part of Amazon's business you may never have even heard of. Sure, you can visit a local bookstore for books, if you have one. Order your Chromecast from Google, or buy toys from a local bookstore or toy store, if you have a local toy store. But they're more than just the everything store. It's also the largest provider of cloud services in the world. Its cloud computing arm, Amazon Web Services, or AWS, touches nearly every corner of the web. You got a smartphone, you use apps on the smartphone, Netflix, Reddit, Yelp, shop on Etsy, read the New York Times. If you answered yes to any of that, you're using Amazon. All of those companies use or have used Amazon Web Services. Other big companies and organizations that rely on them are PBS, Pinterest, and the University of Notre Dame. The Food and Drug Administration, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, NASA, and President Obama's 2012 re-election campaign have all been customers. They provide the cloud services for all of that. And they're just the companies that speak out publicly about using it. There are hundreds of thousands of other customers all over the world that use them. Pretty much 70% of what you do online is connected to Amazon. 70% of what you do online.
Wow.
That's a lot of shit.
Well, I mean, if they're, providing all that cloud service, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's easy to stop buying their products if you wanted to. It'd be super hard just to completely exit them because you don't have a say in where their stuff comes from, nor could you find out. Mm-hmm. They're saying you don't know unless the company just comes out and says, yeah, we use it. They're tight-lipped about how much their cloud service generates, but an independent research firm pegged the number at $5 billion for 2013, increasing to $6 billion to $7 billion this year. But that's just a fraction of their $74.5 billion in sales last year. Holy fuck, $74 billion.
It's numbers and stuff like that. They just don't even make any sense.
So that's why they're not afraid. Yeah, go ahead. We'll do whatever we want. Fine us, penalize us, give us a class action lawsuit. Mm-hmm. We'll fucking pay it. Whatever.
I can't even conceive of that as like a number. It's just insane. It's so far beyond.
Their cloud service is 5 times larger than 14 other cloud computing providers combined. So, you're using it whether you like it or not.
Man, I know what they're doing, man.
And to think that when they started, they almost had to shut down because they could never make a profit.
What, Amazon?
Year to year, yeah. When they started out, I mean, they were never, because they pushed them big. Mm-hmm. They had a big push. Yeah. And each quarter, they were just losing money. Mm-hmm. And they kept saying, just hang in there with us, hang in there with us. Mm-hmm. But they were saying to their stockholders, because their stockholders started getting frustrated. Yeah. They were losing, they bought into this big company, and then they started selling it left and right at a loss. Like, fuck it, I got to take what I can get. Mm-hmm. And man, if you still had that stock today, $74 billion. Fuck me. Yeah. And the thing is, I was old enough at the time to buy a stock.
Mm-hmm. Sure, any of these things. I mean, I don't know. I don't see stock as like a game.
No.
For me, like that's for like people that have money.
I dabbled in it for a little bit, just for fun. Just throw a couple hundred in and see what I can do with it. But I wanted my money to come like now. Sure. You watch it every day, kind of like our.
Well, that's what they want. That's
for the commute.
That's why they sold that to like. The public eventually. Sure. I mean, stock wasn't originally meant for.
Oh no.
The public in general. I mean, that wasn't what it was for. But
and it still isn't today until the company becomes so big. It's like, all right, where else can we get money from?
Sure.
And they become publicly traded. Or some people do it for investments. The only way they can get money. Mm-hmm. Please invest in us.
Yeah.
But until our dear friends force their friends to tune into the commute, golly, we'll still be broke.
Yep.
So that'll do it today for the commute.
Yeah.
Make sure you like and subscribe on Facebook and YouTube. Check out our website, tocommute.com, TWOcommute.com. Follow us on Twitter @DriverPassenger, and send us an email about anything you want. at the Commute Podcast at Comcast.net. See you soon.